Hello, it is Magical Astrid again, and today I want to talk to you about casting your first spell. Okay, now if you're just starting out, at least for me when I was just starting out, it can be extremely confusing trying to figure out how the whole craft thing works, all right? There's so much information out there, and you really can, it's a matter of choosing your own path, what direction, what resonates with you. You know, be that, do you want a religion, in which case Wicca might be more your style? Do you strictly want to practice straight craft? Is the left-hand path something that you might be interested in? If, like me, you come from a very Judeo-Christian upbringing, and that resonates with your subconscious, you might want to look into ceremonial magic, which has a lot of like Hebrew god names and things like that, that really click in with my subconscious and help the magic work better for me. And that's just a taste of directions you can go with this. But anyway, what I was saying is when I first started out, it was hard to find information on the very, very basics. I mean, you can find videos on any kind of spell you can imagine, on sigil magic, on all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to how do I cast a circle, that's a little bit harder to find, right? Because everyone assumes you already know. And also with a lot of the spell videos, when I first started, I kind of assumed that spells were like a recipe. You know, as long as you have the right herbs, right correspondences, right candle color, right oils, put everything together, make your petition all pretty, you know, 1, 2, 3, light the candle, and we're done. Not quite how it works, you know? And as you get more into magic, you can expand upon this, like I said, with herbs, oils, correspondences, planetary hour, planetary day, planetary hour, phases of the moon, correspondences for the god, for the goddess that you're working with, if you choose to work with them like that. Just a whole host of things that you could bring to your spell. But this is just the very, very basics. So all you need for this is a white candle and a way to light your white candle. That's it. Okay, and previously unused white candle, tea light, votive, a taper. I like the little chime candles for my spell work because they burn down pretty quickly, usually within an hour or two. But I mean, even if you want to go for a big glass jar candle, knock yourself out, as long as it is a previously unused white candle. Okay, unscented is preferable, but use what you got. Okay, and that's going forward in your future in magic too. You can use white to substitute for any other color. Okay, you don't have to have 50 different colors of candles like most of us, myself included, probably do. You don't have to make your own candles like a lot of us do. You may once you get more into it, but really all you need is just a basic unscented white candle, and that's all you need to get your spell work done. Okay. Now, when it comes to starting with your spell work, you're going to want to have your candle, lighter, everything in the center of where you're going to be casting your circle, because once the circle is cast, you don't want to be walking in and out. That's going to break your circle up and defeat the entire purpose, okay? Now, you can draw a circle on the floor. You can use chalk. You can use salt. That's going to be a lot of salt. You can use a string. Some people recommend a red string for Mars. I prefer to use Jupiter for my protection magic, so I had a blue string for Jupiter for a while. Currently now, I just have a big 9-foot circular rug on my floor because I do a lot of things in the middle of the night, and I like to work by candlelight. So it's easier for me to feel if, hey, well, I'm going to wander out of the circle if I can feel with my toes where the rug is, okay? But you don't even need to have a physical circle if you, you know, if you're just doing a small casting that's yourself, you can just do arm's length, you know, around and just stay put in the middle and you're good. I mean, you don't need the physical circle. It's nice. It's helpful. It is not necessary. Okay. Now, that being said, you have your physical circle, set it up. If you don't want to use one, also that's fine. Just make sure everything's inside. Make sure your space is clean. We don't want to be working off a dirty floor, please. And if you're outside and there's dirt, that's one thing. If you're inside, there shouldn't be dirt, unless you want other things in your circle. And trust me, you don't. Okay, we're going to be facing east, okay? If for some reason you cannot face east in your circle, I don't know why that reason would be, but if that is an issue, you can pick any other direction, declare that to above, below, everyone, that this is magical east. This direction from now on is magical east. Did I just go out of focus? Ah, okay, I hope I haven't been out of focus this whole time as I'm not re-recording this. Anyway, east, which in this room is behind me, so facing east, you're going to draw up the white light from the ground, from your roots, from your branches, project it out with your dominant hand, which is the hand that you write with. Most of us, that's our right hand. Project it out through the 2 fingers of your right hand, extended fully in front of you. If you have an athame, you can use that now, but I caution you if you're a beginner and you haven't learned how to master what feeling the energy project, coming through you and projecting out of you feels like, don't mess with an athame right now. You don't need it. You're not ready for it. It's going to hinder rather than help. Stick with learning how to project energy and everything and white light just with your hands until you can really feel it moving through. And that way your tools will become an extension of you instead of kind of a block. Okay? So we don't want it to stop the energy when it hits the athame. We want that to be an extension of you. Okay? So just put your 2 fingers out facing east. And then you want to say something along the lines of, I consecrate this sacred circle in the holy name of Jehovah, Adonai. You could say Hecate, Caradwin. I consecrate this circle, or I cast this circle, and I cast this magical circle in the name of the mighty, insert god or goddess here, in the name of the mighty god and the mighty goddess. Whatever you want, okay? Give it a little bit of your own personal flavor. Like I said, you don't have to use Hebrew god names. I do, but that's because I practice ceremonial magic, okay? Whatever god or goddess you're currently working with, if you don't have a god or goddess you're currently working with, you could say the god and goddess or the powers of the divine. I used the word divine a lot when I was getting started. So anyway, I cast a circle in the name of the divine, okay? We're going to start out in the east, project that white light, and then we're going to go around clockwise. So from the east to the south, to the west, to the north, and then back around to the east. You want to make sure that your circle is fully closed. So I always like to overcross a bit, okay, with your white light, and then come back to the middle of the circle. All right, your circle is cast. That's all it takes. You're done. Congratulations, you have a magic circle. Yay. Okay, then you're going to take your plain white candle. You are going to think of an intent, all right? And let's do something simple. And beginner's luck is totally a thing, so keep that in mind as well. But you want to keep it simple. This is not the time to be wanting to win the lottery. And I don't want you to try and manipulate anyone else. Don't make this the time to ask your parents to buy you a car. Don't make this the time to, get that guy that you've really been after to call you. Like, don't use it for that. If you want to use it to meet someone, that's fine, as long as it's not a specific someone, okay? If you want to use it to come across, say, a certain amount of money, like, that's fine, as long as you have channels open for money to come to you, or if you want to cast for a new pair of shoes or a new camera, things like that. Now, keep in mind, you can cast for those things. It doesn't mean that a week after you do the spell, they're going to fall out of the sky, right in front of your car. Boom, new pair of Manolos. No. But you might be scrolling through Craigslist or eBay, and all of a sudden that camera that you really wanted, that's $1,300 on Amazon, is for some reason on eBay for $200. Buy now. Okay? That's how magic works. The camera's not going to magically appear, it's not going to manifest in front of you, and it's not going to ring your doorbell, but it will always, magic will always seem like a coincidence, but a little bit too much of a coincidence, if that makes sense. Okay? You know what I mean by that. Like, it's a coincidence, but so much so that, it came from you, sort of thing. All right, so we've got our white candle. We know what we want. We're going to light the white candle, okay? You're going to stare into the flame. Some people stare into the flame the entire time and observe it that way. A really cool thing is when you're really going on that, a lot of times the flame will grow and you can, kind of play with it. And that's another way of telling how well you're controlling the energy. Not so much when you're a beginner, but when I was a beginner, I had a couple candles explode. So do be careful if they're glass encased. And then you want to focus on that flame. You can close your eyes after a little bit. You don't have to stare at the candle flame if it bothers you. But if you want to, by all means, go right ahead. It's not going to make your magic stronger or not. It's just personal preference. And then you want to, while you're doing that, you want to visualize whatever your intent is happening, as if it's happening right now, as if it has already happened. So if you cast for a camera, visualize yourself buying that camera, visualize yourself unpacking that camera, using that camera, the pictures you would take with that camera. If you cast for a new pair of shoes, you're unboxing the shoes, you're putting them on your feet, you're wearing them to a wonderful night out, like they're the most comfortable shoes ever. You can dance in the shoes, run in the shoes, whatever, things like that. You don't want to focus on how badly you want that thing, because all that's doing is putting out into the universe that you really want it, which is not what you want. You don't want to manifest want. You don't want to manifest that you really want something. You already know that you really want it. You want to manifest that thing. You want to manifest that actually happening. You want to manifest that $200 that you need to pay your rent this month. You don't want to manifest that you need $200, okay? So what you want to put out into the ether, into the universe, into wherever you're putting it out there, that you already have it, okay? So that it will manifest itself in such a way. You don't want to manifest a need. You want to manifest that need fulfilled, okay? So you want to stare into the candle flame, visualizing yourself fulfilling that want, fulfilling that need, fulfilling that desire. If for some reason you are one of those people that has a total block with visualization, or you have been visualizing for 5 or 10 minutes, but you want to keep it going, and you're just out of visualizing juice, you're spent, come up with a little rhyme, a little spell. It does not have to be good. Some of the most successful spells I've done have had some of the most god-awful poetry involved in them. All that matters is that it sticks and it's catchy and you can remember it and you can say it over and 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 over, okay? Until it really doesn't even make any sense anymore. It's just one big, long, repetitive sound, almost like speaking in tongues, okay? Do that. The whole process should be no less than 5 minutes. You don't really need to go more than 20. I usually go about 15 or 20. Then when you're done, you can either let the candle burn down and out. Again, I shouldn't have to say this. Neither should anyone else on YouTube. But please don't leave your candles unattended. Please, 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 for the love, don't leave your candles unattended. Okay? Either let it burn down supervised or snuff it out. Don't blow it out. There's fire elementals that are not going to be happy with you if you go around just blowing your candle out. Plus, it also tends to be a symbol that you want to stop the spell. So for some reason, you're in the middle of a spell and for whatever reason, you need to really hit the brakes and stop and reverse and back up, and we don't want this to happen anymore, you would blow the candle out to symbolize that. So if you want the spell to continue casting and going through and manifesting, and all that, then you want to snuff out the candle. Okay, and then once it's snuffed out, if you're not going to let it burn down, dispose of it. Some people will say to bury it, throw it away. But I really prefer to let them burn all the way down. If you chose a big candle and you can't let it burn down all at once because you have to leave the house or whatnot, snuff it out, and then when you come back home, light it again. If you want, you can do what's called working the candle. And for 5 to 7 days, you would light it and then go through the same meditation, 5 to 20 minutes, staring into that flame, visualizing and whatnot. And then when you're done with your visualization, you would snuff the candle out, and then do that every day, 5 to 20 minutes a day for 5 to 7 days. But then when you're done with that, let it burn all the way down. Okay. But for your first one, I would say pick a votive, a tea light, a chime candle, something small that you could just let burn down that first day. Okay. And then, now that you've put so much thought and effort and you've really cradled this little thing, it's your little baby, and You really hope it comes true, and oh, we're so excited, we cast our first spell, we hope it comes true, and we just can't wait, and we want to think about it all the time, and how we can't wait for it to come. No. 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 That is not what you're going to do. Okay? Now that you've put all this thought and effort and energy into the spell, all of the energy is in the spell, and you're going to let it go. Hands off. Mind off. Don't think about it. If you catch yourself obsessively thinking about it, tell yourself to knock it off. No. Brain. No. We're not thinking about that anymore. No. I've let it go. Okay? Because if you're still holding on to it, when you haven't let it go, and you've got it clenched in your fist like this, you haven't let it go. It can't get to where it needs to get to make the things happen that need to happen in order for it to manifest and come full circle back to you if you're still holding on to it. Okay? Let go. Let it go so it can do what it needs to do to return fully manifested. All right? So that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully it made sense. Obviously, this is going to be unedited because I haven't figured out how to edit yet. And I don't think I'm going to figure out tonight. So that's what I have for you guys today. And I hope to see you again soon. But yeah, I think the first series of videos I want to do is just the very, very basics of magic. So the next one will probably be, thinking probably basic protection magic, basic cleansing, things like that. Just the stuff that was hard for me to find in the beginning, and the stuff that's very general and generic. And then we can really get into the fun stuff after that's out of the way. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please thumbs up it and subscribe. As I'm sure you can see, I'm a very new channel. So every vote counts, make your vote count, and I would love to have you as a subscriber. Doesn't matter who you are. I would love it. It would be awesome. Might even get your name mentioned in a future video because it would be so cool if you were to subscribe. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.